אתה לא רוצה לחכות?
נראה לי כדאי להתחיל.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Hi. Hi, Nat, Julia, Nicole, Emma, and Marcella. How are you doing? Turn on your video if you can, please. If you're not really in your jammy. Hi. Nice to meet you. We're going to talk about LinkedIn. Before I start, I would like to know what you are looking for in this session. What would you like to receive?
I have a quick question for you first. I just wondered where the recording is going to be accessible because I might have to drop off soon.
No, I asked not to.
It says it's recording.
I know it's recording. They asked me if they can advertise it, and I asked not to. So I'm not sure what they're going to do with this recording, but I asked not to. So no, not if I care. Like I can stop it now, but maybe Michael is here still. I don't know if he's here.
He dropped off.
Yeah, he dropped off. Sorry, Nat. So who else is here? Nicole, what's your goal? Andrea, Emma, Marcella, what would you like to get?
Well, I'm starting to look for jobs and I want to boost my LinkedIn to find better opportunities in Israel. That's
what do you do? What do you work at? What would you like to find a job at?
Right now, I'm international government fellows at the Banking Center. I'm interning for the Mizrad Revacha.
Can you repeat what you do?
What I do, I work with international relations in the Department of International Relations in the ministry.
Okay.
And as of July, my contract ends, and I want to find new opportunities in Israel in international relations. That's what I want, but I don't know about the rest.
Okay. What about Julia?
I'm reaching a similar program, working in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs with cybersecurity. Also ends in July. I'm also looking for jobs in Israel, mainly security stuff and cybersecurity.
Okay. I have to say probably Julia would find it easier than Marcella, just because of the industries you work at. Okay. Who started to tell me what they're looking for?
This is Emma.
Hi, Emma.
Kind of close to Julia, looking for stuff in emergency and disasters.
Emergency and disasters?
Yeah, I got my second degree in emergency and disaster management from Tel Aviv University.
Okay, we always have emergencies and always have disasters. Hey, welcome to Israel. Just kidding. Nicole? What about yourself? Job search. Okay, I see. Okay, I'm going to start. Well, wait, I need to share I would share my screen. Hi, everyone. Okay, so today we're going to talk about LinkedIn. Okay, LinkedIn. Well, my name is Natalie Khazai. I work in innovative recruitment. I teach recruiters how to find employees today or talents throughout digital transformation. I teach job seekers how to find their next job. And I'm a headhunter as well and consultant. So what we're going to do, what's in it for you to stay tuned on this webinar? I'm going to give you, and you're going to get it, a great tool for your career with all your journey career. Like it's not only for whenever you're looking for a job. It's not only for this July. It's going to be with you for the rest of your career, apparently. And I think it's a tool that you can take and enjoy it, and maximize your potential, your network potential, when you're working with LinkedIn. Okay, so what is LinkedIn? LinkedIn is, by definition, is the world's largest professional network. But when I think of it, I call it my CRM. It's my connections relations manager or management system, okay? Because I know that I had the best friends throughout high school, and they're not my BFF anymore. And then I had great friends at the army service, and they're not around anymore. And so on and so on. Whenever I went to uni, I had great friends, and whenever I started my new job, I had great friends. But today they are loose ties, and LinkedIn gives me the opportunity to keep these ties, which are very valuable, throughout my life, throughout my career, because I know these people, they would be more than happy to assist me, and I will be very happy to assist them whenever they would need anything. But it's not like we're chit-chatting every day on WhatsApp or drinking coffee. But I want to keep in touch. So people tell me, well, you can do it on Instagram and Facebook, but I don't. I can't. Why can't I? Because on Facebook and Instagram, I know if they went for a vacation or had a good meal, or if they had kids or anything like that, but I don't know what they do. I don't know what company they're at. And LinkedIn gives me the opportunity to know those things. I have a question. All of you have a LinkedIn profile, active LinkedIn profile?
Yes.
Yes? Anyone does not have a LinkedIn profile? Okay. Everyone says that who you know becomes more important than what you know today. And I thought of this sentence, and I thought, well, it has a bit of truth in it. But then I thought that things have changed since this sentence went around. Like, okay, I think the most important thing is who knows what I do. Have you ever thought about it? Because a lot of people know what I do, and I don't know them. And that's great for me. Because whenever they have an opportunity to address me, they just call me. And they tell me, hey, Natalie, I've been following you. I have this opportunity. So think about it, that you want as many people to know about what you're doing. A little bit of numbers. Till we finish this webinar, there will be more than 10,800 new profiles on LinkedIn. 680 million profiles throughout the world. And when we are thinking of Israeli terms, well, we are a small country, but we have on LinkedIn 1.6 million Israelis. Now think about it. We are all together like 9 million people, and LinkedIn does not approach everyone because it doesn't, it's not directed to children or youth at all, unlike Facebook or Instagram. It's not approached to elders because whenever they finish their career path, that's it, bye-bye. And it's in English, so some of the Israelis are not here, and it's, I would say, for the white, how do you call it, collar, the white collar people, day office people going to work. So it's a big number in Israel. Maybe for you coming from states or other big countries, it doesn't seem much, but for us, it's a lot. There are more than 40,000 HR professionals, Israeli HR professionals. So if I would think about it as a candidate, I know if I wouldn't be there, they wouldn't know about my existence. almost 60 million companies that represent themselves throughout company pages. And I want to talk today about 7 steps to your career leap. And it's all about going step by step and understanding each step. So today we're going through all the steps, and I hope that you can maximize your potential on LinkedIn. So the first step is building a good, solid, branded profile, and I will teach you everything I know about this part. The second part is networking, extending your network, understanding the value of each person you add, being a part of groups, taking a job search active, taking a direct approach for your job search, making sure your settings is good, and being present on social. Okay, social presence is it's good. You should do it. I know most people don't go to the 7th step, but you should. So what do we have on LinkedIn? So the first thing we have on LinkedIn is our personal profile. I have my own profile, Julia have its own, Marcella. But then Marcella or Emma, hi Emma, where do you work? Hi, where do you work?
Where do I was working for Israel, an Israeli NGO.
NGO, which one?
Israel.
I don't know, do they have a LinkedIn profile?
I believe so.
Don't think so. Israel Aid. Oh, Israel Aid. Now I got it. Julia, where do you work till July?
Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Ministry of Affairs. Okay, so whenever you write your LinkedIn profile, you mention that you work for the Ministry of Affairs, and if you do it the way that LinkedIn intended you to do it, then you are creating a link between your profile and the company page. Because whenever I look at you and I don't know the Ministry of Affairs, maybe I ask myself, what is it? Let's look at it. I can just click and I would go to the company page and the other way around. Where did you go to school?
I went to law school in Brazil.
What?
I went to law school in Brazil.
Law school in Brazil. Okay, so if you write it, then you can create a link between your profile and the school. And if I look at the school, I can find you throughout their alumni. And also on a group, if you're a member in a group of job search in Israel, you are linked between you and the group. Now you can see on this slide that everything is connected for your personal profile. This is the most important thing on your LinkedIn. So you have to make sure your LinkedIn profile is branded and good. I believe, Natalie, I believe that everyone needs a certain vitamin in their life. Which one? Any vitamin you take for your career? No, maybe it's an Israeli joke. We always say that we need vitamin P, and in Hebrew it's for protection, but protection is not for defense. It's someone who would help you to find your next job. But we need vitamin B, B for branding. Okay, I'm a strong believer in branding, and I'll tell you why. I learned mass communication and media on my first degree, on my bachelor degree, and the first media model that I saw was this one. There is a sender that want to deliver a message to their receiver. It can be on TV, okay, that the advertiser wants to send an advertisement to their audience, or to our newspaper, radio, it doesn't matter. But whenever we look at this mass media model, we understand it's a one direction model. And everyone who would like to send a message they need to put their hands deep into their pockets and take out a lot of money in order to be able to do that. And then about 15 years ago, the world has changed. We have social networks. Look at it. Every one of the people here have audience, big audience. So do you. You have audience on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on TikTok. I don't know. You have audience. And if you have audience, you should be branded. So you have to understand you are a brand, whether you would like it or not, if you take care of your brand or not, you are a brand. Because people that follow you or your connections, they look at you in a certain way. They think about you in a certain way. Jeff Bezos once told a sentence. I don't remember it accurately, but it said, your brand is whatever people say about you whenever you leave the room. So this is what you need to think. You need to think, I'm a brand, so I have audience. What are my messages that I want to deliver them? What do I want them to think about me whenever I leave the room? Okay, this is your brand. So this is what I want to work for on this session. On LinkedIn, I came across this word in English. We don't have it in Hebrew, but I fell in love. It's like humble bragging. Did you know it? Humble bragging? Humble for being humble and, you know, modest, and bragging because you can't be very modest here in LinkedIn. You have to tell your success stories combined with the keywords. I have to put a lot of emphasis for the keywords. LinkedIn is a search engine. Also, other search engines like Google look throughout our LinkedIn profile. So I have to understand that I'm writing a website, my personal website. So I need to think of my keywords. And in order to get a good audience and to start to do something in social network, I want you to see this model. It's a marketing model saying know, like, trust. We wouldn't be able to create any relationship with a certain someone throughout virtual or not virtual relationships if we won't go throughout those steps. We need people to know us, what we're doing, and then to like whatever we say, we think, we write, and then they would trust us as people and trust us as professionals, and they would know that we can deliver whatever we say. I hope you understand it. So let's go through our LinkedIn. I think this is the best presentation. Just be here. And welcome to my LinkedIn. This is my home page. I'm here. And let's think what we can see here. So this is my feed on my LinkedIn, and my first degree connections write their posts, they write their content, and I see it. Now, whenever someone writes something, whatever they write a post, I see their name, and I see also their headline, Jerusalem-based social activist and data-driven campaign manager. So I know whatever they do. It's unlike Facebook or Instagram that you don't know what these people do. Here, you actually can see what people do. Okay? So whenever I tell you need a social presence, I want you to appear here, and we'll talk what you can write. So this is my home, and I want to get to my profile. I'll step up a little bit, and I want to show you a little something. In LinkedIn, unlike other social networks, you can see who looked at your profile. You can see here who viewed your profile. You can just click and you would see the last 5 people who looked at your profile in the last 90 days. That's for free. If you want to see more people, if you want to see everyone, you need to buy premium. Okay, I can see Miri, it's my second degree connection, looked at me, and those three are my first degree connection, and one LinkedIn member decided to be anonymous. Okay, we'll talk about it as well. And one other thing which is very, very interesting is to see who viewed your article. I just posted it about 2 hours ago, so I don't have, which one is that? My activity. It's from, this is my post. Okay, you can see that each one of my posts, I know the data on it. Here I have 3,500 viewers. Here I have 1,625, 8,500, and so on and so on. And here I have 1,830 views. Each one I can open and have a look at my data. Who looked at my posts? Okay, who shared my posts as well? Okay, let's talk about your profile. I go to me and I look at view profile. This is my profile. What's the most eye-catching part of this profile? Anyone? You can talk. You can just talk. It's like such an intimate webinar. Hi, Adam. Hi, Ella. What's the most eye-catching part? Okay, I'll say
The
it.
headline.
The headline is the most eye-catching?
For me?
Hmm?
For me, yes. I don't know about the others. It's the first thing I look.
This one, Innovative Recruitment Evangelist. This one? Eh?
Yeah.
Okay, what about others?
I think the most catching part is your photo at first, and then another headline like "Grow your talents with us."
Yeah, I also think this is the most eye-catching part because it's visual.
Yes,
And
also
we are
faces
always
also, yes. If you see,
so
if you have a face on the page, yes, you see right through on this.
I think social network profile cannot go through without a profile photo. I have to have a profile photo because if I won't get to the trust part of the know, like, trust. A profile without a profile photo would not get trust from other viewers. Would you agree? I need a photo of myself, of my eyes. With a little smile would be the best thing. Now this one is very clear for people, but this part, most people don't use it. And I look at it and I say, okay, LinkedIn gave me an advertising part. Let's use it. I can write my goal. I can write my products. I can put something that would inspire people and they would understand who I am. So here on this little button here, little pencil, I open it and here I can edit my profile photo and here I can edit my banner or cover photo. People ask me, how do you find banner photos? Do you know how? Just write LinkedIn cover, free LinkedIn cover on Google, or create your own banner on Canva. Do you know Canva? Canva.com? Yeah. Okay. Next step is to think about your headline. I'll keep it to the end because I think this what sums up my my profile. And for some reason I think that it's better to start with your other parts and then to understand what you want to brand. So we'll begin with our experience or with our education, which is the easiest part. Okay? Anyone want to be an example? Marcela?
Sure.
Emma? Yeah.
Highest degree?
Highest degree, this is the school name?
No, I'm asking, okay, so the school is a university, Federal University of Rio Grande do Sul in Brazil.
Feather? Like that?
I would maybe write, yeah, this one, Federal University of Rio Grande do Sul. It's the 4th on the list.
Okay. But you saw I didn't continue writing. I had to, let's say I was here. I won't continue write. I have to choose it. I have to click on it, okay? In order to create this link between myself and this university page. What degree? It's your bachelor's?
I have a master's.
Master degree, okay. But if you had a bachelor, you have a bachelor as well.
Yes.
So you have to write it as extra part, okay? Even though you have a master, I want to know what's your bachelor's degree.
Okay, no problem.
What's your field of study?
International relations and politics.
So I have international relationships and affairs. I don't have in politics. I don't think so. I recommend, if it's close enough, okay, I would recommend you to just pick it. If it's not, if it's really far, then you can write it. But if you can just click it, it's better. But I can just do that and politics. I just did something. I didn't click the right thing, but I can write whatever I want and I can choose. I prefer choosing because the algorithm of LinkedIn would be smarter regarding your profile. What date you started? I'm just, and maybe you didn't finish your degree yet, and it would be only in 2023. So it can be also expected. Okay, and that's it. That's what I write on education. So if you have more than the bachelor degree, write all of them. My bachelor, this is my master's, and so on. Now, another thing, let's go to your experience, work experience. This is very technical, but here as well, try to find the best title. If you have a title which is understandable only in the organization you worked at, it's not understandable to most readers. So I would recommend you to find a title that people understand what you did, even if it wasn't your title at the job. Okay? Because we're writing here a document that we want our receivers to understand what they're reading. So try to write your title in a understandable way. Anyone want to give me to try it or to be an example?
I can go.
Yeah, go Emma.
My job title was Disaster Risk Reduction Manager.
Okay, disaster.
Risk.
Let's see what we have. Recovery manager. That's the three options. I don't know if it's disaster. What's your
risk reduction.
Risk? Okay, it's not. I understand. So would it be right to say that you were a risk analyst?
No, I worked on recovery and preparedness. in communities.
Okay, risk. This one, since it's really a reduction. Since it's really not a common profession,
Okay.
like it's not a economics manager or CPA or I don't know, data scientist. I don't know how to think about it. I think you should write it as it is, because if someone would look for you, they would look for that, I think. Okay, what company was it?
Israel ISR.
Aid.
Yeah.
Haha! So they do have a LinkedIn page. Here, since you're from other countries, I would recommend you write Israel.
Okay.
Israel. And you should write if I'm currently working in this role or you finished. Don't worry about the month. Really don't. Just write the years. Okay?
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. At least for Israeli jobs. Look, Israelis are not very, we're not looking for the little details. We want to see the big picture. Okay? We want to understand what you did. We don't care if you started in March or April or May. It doesn't matter. Okay? We want to see the big picture. And whenever you start writing months in your CV or in your LinkedIn, then you get to little corners that I don't want you to get to. What did you do in those 3 months? Okay, and people would wonder, why do you have a gap on your CV? I will tell you, life. The answer is life. Okay, I have gaps on my CV, but if I can write it in a manner that people can understand what I did, not lying for 2 years, yeah. But if it's only a few months here and a few months there, it's fine. So just write the year. You have, and then it says, I have 2 current positions at the moment. If it's okay, or do I want to end it? Update my industry. Listen, every company writes on LinkedIn whatever their industry is all about. So Israel is a non-profit organization. Okay, non-profit organization management. You can see. If I would write HP, then I would have information technology services, or you can see every company has its own industry. Now LinkedIn asks, do you want to be attached with this industry? Basically, I would tell you, yeah, for most people, because you can be the same on the same position in different companies, and it's a total different position. Let me give you an example. A project manager on Wix is a different position than a project manager at the bank. So yeah, I want them to know which industry I'm working at. And then he asked, update my headline. You can do it. It's the default option. But I want us to think of your headline later on. Okay, so I edit, and then description. Here I really want you to write whatever you did on bullets, and if you have achievements that you would like to share, achievements would be great. And I want you to think of your keywords. Really think of your keywords. How do I do it? To find my keywords, a lot of times I look through our jobs here, and I would find a similar job to whatever I did, and I can understand the keywords they're looking for and put it on my CV. I need to understand if they're looking for a certain certification or software that I need to work with, or code, or other things. In every position there are like special keywords that you need to map yourself and understand what are your keywords and repeat it as many times as you can. If it's in your title, in the description of your position, in your summary, or in your skills, you have to think of your keywords and repeat it as many times, because it's like I told you, it's like a website. And you have to do an SEO. Anyone knows what an SEO is? SEO is search engine optimization. Whenever we are putting a website online, then we want to have a search engine optimization, so the search engines would find our website. So I want recruiters find your profiles. Okay, further on, we continue. So I had education and I had work experience. If you have a license or certificates, that's the place to put it. If you're volunteering, this is the place to put it. It's really good to put your volunteering. And then I go to skills. Now, if I wrote enough information, then LinkedIn would know to give me keywords to add. If I don't, I can just write. I can add up to 50 skills. So I can just do that, or I can do disaster recovery, or disaster emergency management, or here, woohoo, Emma, disaster risk reduction. Woohoo, I add it. Okay, I add it, and then I want to show you what happens once you add skills to your profile. This is how it looks. And you see that people endorsed me. I have more than 99 endorsement for sourcing, and 99 endorsement for recruiting, and LinkedIn recruiter for 90, and so on, and I have much more. So people endorse my skill. I have to tell you, as a recruiter, as a headhunter, I don't give a damn about your endorsement. I don't care if you got endorsement or not. Why do I say it? Because people I don't know endorsed me and then asked me to endorse them. So no, it's not really a tool that make me understand if you know this skill or not. Then a few months ago, LinkedIn added a new feature, which is take a skill quiz. And they offer here a few, just a few skill quizzes for more for software developers or designers. I don't know what would it do, okay, at the moment. So it's new. We need to give it a try to understand if we want it or not. So I want you to add at least 5 skills and up to 50 skills. But I think about 20 is good. It's really, really good. If you would add 20 skills, it's great. Map your keywords and then put it into your LinkedIn profile. Any questions? You're very quiet.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I know for CV, you're supposed to limit the amount of bullet points under a description, but for LinkedIn, can they be a little bit longer?
It can be a little bit longer. I don't recommend to overdo it, you know. You can have like 5 or 6 bullets. That's okay. Do you want to add more than that?
No, that's what it can be more than 3 is, I guess.
Also on your CV, it can be more than 3. Don't feel it's not. It have to be good for your status. Okay. If I have a CV of someone who is already 50 and is in a very executive position, I don't expect them to send me a CV which is a one-pager. I don't. They've been through a lot. They did a lot of things. So I expect them to have a big resume. It's okay. Not 3, 4, 5 pages, but 1 or 2, it's great. Okay, even 2 and a bit. If I get a CV of someone who is 20, I don't expect to get 3 pages or 2. I think when you're 20, in your 20s, you can sum up your life in 1 page. So it's about understanding what is more important, what is less. This is a great thing to ask yourself. Do you, as a person, know to make the difference between important and not? Okay, this is what, as recruiters, we look on CVs. If the person put too much details and was not focused, or was focused and knew what he should do, what's the work on CV. So you can put more than 3, Emma. It's not a lot. 3, 4, 5, it's fine. Any more questions? No. Okay. So we had our background, we had our skills. So now I want to take you to accomplishments. When you click on accomplishments, many categories follow. We have publications and patents and courses and projects, honors and awards. If you got something for excellence, put it. This is the humble bragging. This is the part of the bragging. Okay, you should put it. Don't feel humble and say, "Oh, I don't want to brag." No, you should put it. Your languages. I understand all of you speak English and maybe a little bit of Hebrew, or Spanish or other Portuguese. I don't know. You should write all your languages. Now, each language that you would add. I wish I knew Portuguese. Okay, so if I put it, it asks me my proficiency, and it goes from level 1 to level 5. You should just understand what level you are. But write all the languages you do know. You never know who is looking for you. I'll tell you, it's a sourcing story. It's my job story. Like, whenever I go headhunting, a fashion company asked me to find them an employee living in China, in a city called Guangzhou. They were looking for a factory manager for their textile factory, but they wanted them to be Israelis that know Chinese, that live in China and know how to work in a textile or manage a textile factory. How would I find that between all those Chinese? Okay. So it was really easy because I looked for the factory manager and all those titles, and I added one more keyword, which was Hebrew. And between the million Chinese I got, then I scanned them all, and I filtered all the Chinese, and I got only the Israelis. It was awesome. I gave them like 50 candidates. They were shocked. How could you find all those Israelis in China? There you go. Only because they put Hebrew in their profile. So put all your languages. I go through here. What else do I want you to put? Look at the accomplishments. Each one have different accomplishments. Just understand what's relevant for you. Then, anyone else want to introduce themselves? Because there are many parts and I want you to speak and explain them according to your needs. Ala, Nat, Adam? Everyone are silent? Okay. So, I want to add more things to my profile. I have something called additional information. It's about request a recommendation. In order to request a recommendation, I need to be connected to a person that I would like to get their recommendation. So I do that. Who do you want to ask? And I ask someone that I know is on my network. Let's say Avi. Okay, this is my colleague. Select a relationship. Avi used to be my manager. Avi managed me directly. In what position? When I was at Lumicon. Okay? Next. Hi, Avi. Could you write me a recommendation? I would do them as send, or I can write them, whatever I want, and send them. Please do that. So your profile would be more trustworthy. Okay, I have all those recommendations. Some people recommend me without me asking them. Most people here, I think, really most of them. Some write it in Hebrew or other languages, but most Hebrew or English. This is me. About you, that you have other languages you speak. You can add your profile in another language. Emma, where are you from?
From the U.S.
So yours is in English. English is your language.
Yes.
Okay. I see Marcella left us. I don't know where those people are. So you can, anyone, if it's relevant for you, you can add your profile in another language. What else can we put here? Let's get to the hard part. The hard part is your about. Okay, this part. Why is it hard? It's all about white blank sheet. Like you need to write everything by yourself. Nothing is written, so you have to start telling about yourself, and it's really damn difficult to summarize yourself. So what I did like little headlines that help me first to understand what I want to say, and also to make people, the readers, understand and make their reading easier. It's not a long block, it's cut it by headlines. So I have what I do, why it matters, who should call me since I'm a business. Let's connect. So I leave them my email. I recommend you write your email. Like, feel free to contact me via this email. And then I add areas of expertise, which is, again, my keywords. Okay, so add your keywords as many times as you can. Now, going back to my headline. Your headline in default is your last position, your current or last position, but you can edit it. If I go here to this little pencil, the blue pencil, I can write my headline. It doesn't have to be the position. And whenever you are without a job, okay, looking for a new opportunity, please don't write you're looking for a new opportunity, not on your headline. Okay, write your profession. Even though you're not working in a certain moment, in a certain month, it doesn't mean that your profession is taken away from you. You are still professionals in whatever you do. Emma, even if you won't work in disaster risk reducement, you would still be an expert in it. I never met someone doing whatever you did. I never met anyone. So hi, first time for me. Okay, let's finish it up. Anyone have questions about your profile?
Can I ask one more quick question?
Yeah, sure.
For languages, even if it's like very basic Hebrew, is that something that we should put on there?
You write your Hebrew. Yeah, I think especially since you're a foreigner, then as a recruiter, I would like to know what's your Hebrew level. And I would like to know that you have Hebrew. How basic is it?
Like, can go to the store, but not like have a whole conversation.
Okay. Let's say on your accomplishments, I think what it is. Never mind. Let's go for the Portuguese because I have already Hebrew. Limited working proficiency. It's to know, like, okay, I understand that your level of knowledge in Hebrew would be okay for global companies working in Israel. Okay, that everyone work in English, but it's nice to know that you can also chit chat in Hebrew. And whatever there would be a meeting in the company, would it be okay that the meeting will be held in Hebrew or not?
No, I think
No?
nuances and important facts.
Okay, so I think you should write it just to be clear about your knowledge. You can, you write your knowledge. And Emma, start learning Hebrew. It's hard whenever you are an English speaker. It's hard. If you knew only, let's say, Romanian, you would know Hebrew by now, because no one can communicate in Romanian. But whenever you know English, so people just, talk with you in English. I know. Any questions? Carrying on. Okay, I have my profile, which is great, which is looking awesome, and now I want to have it published. What do I mean by I want it to be published? I want as many people to know about me. I want as many exposure as I can get. So I have it, my network. This is my network. And I want to explain you something about my network and my network on LinkedIn. Your network is your net worth. This is my slide title. And the LinkedIn network is built from 3 circles. My first degree connections, my second, and my third. What does it mean? Whenever someone is connected to me on LinkedIn, their friends are my second degree connections, and their friends' friends are my third degree connections. Why do I care at all? Because LinkedIn says those things. Okay, for your first degree connections, you can send an email. You can send them a private message throughout LinkedIn, which is great. But if you would like to send a message to your second or third degree, you need to pay premium. Okay? Sometimes it's very frustrating because you only want to send a small message. Wow, do I need a whole monthly account? I will teach you a little trick later on. How can I send messages to people who are not in my connections? Now, further on, if you do a search for all the people who work on disaster recovery, disaster risk management, or whatever, you can tell me, Natalie, there are 500 results. You would see only 300. Why is that? Because the other 200 are out of your network. They are fourth or fifth or second degrees away. So I want to make my first degree circle as big as it can be. Okay? Also from the other way. As a recruiter, whenever I do my search, the results are ordered to be first my first degree, and then my second, and then my third. So I want you to appear in searches. So you need a strong, solid network. Is it understandable? Yeah? Sorry. So we are here at my network, and I have all those Dan and Miri and Salit that asked me and invited me to join their network. I can easily do accept, I can do ignore. I don't recommend they ignore because I want them in my network, and also they won't get any messages that Natalie ignored them. No, it's not the way. But I recommend adding people, even people you don't know. Yes, even people you don't know. You never know who would be the one that will introduce you for your next opportunity. Whenever you do accept, then LinkedIn says, okay, you have those people who are connections affiliate, and you might know them. Why would I might know them? Because you have so many connections, mutual connections. Okay, so they offered me also more connections. So it's a good way to extend your network. Another way is just look. LinkedIn offers me all those people you may know, which is nice. But I want you to see this little bit here. I can just click on the more options part and add my Gmail or add a file. Okay, whenever I do try my Gmail, connect to my Gmail, it asks me, can I manage your contacts? And I said, okay, no privacy in this world. No, the answer is no, we don't have any more privacy. So I continue with this part. I just did it this morning on a different webinar, so I won't have probably any people to show. Okay, it says, Natalie, you have 14 people that we saw on your Gmail contact addresses, and they have a profile on LinkedIn. Ask them to connect. I think it's super okay to ask them and invite them to join your network. It's on a click, add connections, and that's it. I'll do skip for now because I just did it this morning. And then the next step is this step, which is a very troubling step, let's say, because here I have 2,184 connections, but it tells me those email addresses are not connected to a profile. Okay, ask them to join LinkedIn. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not your representative. So I'm telling you that just to skip, because you don't want to start sending messages to people asking them to join LinkedIn. Okay, it's not your job. So I do done for now. So the first part, whenever I had the photo and their title and everything, yeah, go ahead. If a person is on LinkedIn, connect with them. That's cool. But whenever people are not on LinkedIn, don't do it. Just don't. Okay, so that was my network. Any questions about that? Okay, groups. Here on work, I can see all my groups. This is my group, and these are groups that I requested to join and was not approved. How do I find groups? Sorry. These are groups that I wasn't approved yet. So here on the search engine, I write the name of a group. Let's say jobs. Israel, because I'm looking for a job in Israel. So I'm looking for groups that have those two words. I just do search, and then it tells me, wow, there are so many results of people and jobs and content. But if I click on the more, I would say the groups. 374 results for jobs in Israel. Now, each group you have to see if there is enough people, enough members in this group. I don't want to get to a group with only one member. It's not a group, it's a sad party. Okay? Really sad. So look at the number, read a little bit about the group and you can find good groups. Also, another way, Emma, I'm taking you as an example. Do you have groups? Emma?
So I'm not 100% sure if I did it correctly, but I think I've joined one or two in the emergency field.
Emma Lee Liber, there you are. Liber. Which one are you?
None of them, actually.
Did I write you right, correctly?
Yes, maybe Emma R as my middle initial might help it.
Let's see.
There I am.
Which one?
The middle, the one. Yes.
Disaster. Okay. That's a very, I'm going to be stereotyped. That's a very American photo of your graduation. Yeah.
Okay.
In Israel, at least in Israel, it's not very common to see a picture with the hat of the graduation. Just saying.
Okay.
Like,
So change it. Okay.
Emma R. Lieberman, disaster risk reduction manager at the UN, US Coast Guard. Here, research assistant, Tel Aviv University has a LinkedIn page. Okay, attach it to Tel Aviv University and then write, as a part of the Department of Emergency Management and Disaster Medicine. Okay.
Okay.
You want to be clicked to Tel Aviv University, link to it, okay? You want this connection. So I'm scrolling down until I found your interests. And I go to see all. And I go to your groups. So anyone can see anyone's other groups. And that's a good way to find groups, because sometimes I go to other people in my own industry or in an industry I'm interested in, and I find their groups. Okay, so if you know of someone that that is similar to you, here you see on the right hand side, LinkedIn tells me people also viewed those people. So maybe I can find more people doing whatever you did and find more groups. Just saying. Okay. On groups, if I go to one of my groups, let's go again to Jobs Israel or R&D developers here. I just entered the group. I can write here content and have my social presence. Oh, here I am this morning. I'm recruiting an R&D manager. If anyone knows an R&D manager, just send them to me. But look what I wrote. I don't know if you're into the politics. I wrote, I don't know if you read. It's not like in our government. We are looking for one R&D manager. And here it's like the Minister of Software, Minister of Hardware, Minister, anyway. So here we can find different jobs that are aimed to our needs or professions. So it's nice to know that there are jobs also in groups, because here there are jobs as well. So what's the differences? Anyone knows? Okay, here, whenever someone writes a job in a group, it's free. It's just free. But there isn't any job search engine. for us as candidates. We have to scroll down throughout the group and look if there are interesting opportunities. On the jobs, okay, here, if I click on it, the companies paid a lot of money to be advertised here. It's just like all jobs or Indeed or Gumtree or any job board, online job board you have. So sometimes there are companies that didn't invest the money to publicize their jobs, but there are jobs ads on the groups as well. How do I do my job search? Let's say disaster recovery. Now, since I know it's not I won't have a lot of positions in this field, I would go for worldwide at the moment for this example. Wow, that's surprising. 21,232 results. Let's try in Israel. Not really. I don't see the connection between disaster recovery in Israel. Do you understand? Why did it?
I think a lot of it is cybersecurity. So
That's the disaster.
yeah, so a lot of software places.
But not the disaster that you're looking for.
Yes.
Okay. I don't think that your industry would be on LinkedIn. I don't think that the jobs you're looking for, you would find them on LinkedIn. I believe jobs that you're looking for would be in job boards like Shatil, if you know them.
No, how do you spell that?
Shatil, it's Shatil, it's in Hebrew. So it's Shin Taf Yud Lamed, okay, which is it's the job boards for non-profit organizations. But that's a website. Anyone here who's looking for a job in the business industry? Any participants? Anyone? Nat, Mirek? Ala?
Sorry, I've just rejoined the Zoom, so I might have missed some things. I'm looking in the field of kind of HR within sort of people management and like employee retention, like mental health, staff well-being, that kind of sphere.
Okay. So I write HR Israel. Maybe you can be more specific, but I just wrote something very general. HR Israel, I have all those positions, okay? And I can sort them and I can filter them. I can filter them, look, when they were posted, if I want to see only positions that have under 10 applicants, let's see them, because I know that my chances are bigger. Okay, I don't know why it's that invited and so on. HR, let's see, all filters. Job function.
I think they would call it something like people engagement.
For some reason, or here, I don't know why it doesn't tell me. it will give me none. What's wrong? And don't worry about LinkedIn, it has lots of bugs. If I do that, let's see. Okay. So I have 49 positions for HR, human resources, and I don't know exactly what's the title you're looking for, but I can
So yeah, I
see
think
all.
it'd be something like people engagement. I think those
I'm
are kind
not
of things.
sure that since it's a very unique title, I'm not sure you should look for the title. I can give it a try. Um, let's do clear for everything and start again. So we have people engagement.
Yeah.
Engagement. I think it wouldn't be a title. It would be a part of a position. Like this senior HRBP, it would tell it's a part of your role. You would need to do people engagement or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Don't go for a very narrow title, I believe. But anyway, let's go for one of the positions here, like this one, senior HRBP. If I look at the position, I have all the normal stuff that I see in job boards, like where is that and about the company and so on and so on. Okay, the industry, employment type, the job function, the responsibilities, and so on. Okay, that's fine, but that's not the interesting part of LinkedIn. The interesting part on LinkedIn that it tells me who are the connections that work here. I can click on the applied material, so I can click on the connections here. And I can see the people that I know working at applied materials. Why do I show you that? Because things are not, I have to reflect you the day job of a recruiter. Most recruiters averagely read about 200 CVs a day. Now, it might be that you would send your CV throughout the normal pipelines, but no one would read them because they didn't get to it, because they didn't pay attention, and you want them to look at your CV. So you want them to notice you. How would you do it? Would you make sure that recruiters would read your CV? Nat? Emma?
Just make it easy for them, like with the relevance to the role that you're trying to go through.
Yeah, but you say they should read my CV and that would be fine. But I can give you a showcase of my own requirements. I used to work for Leumika, which is a credit card company, and I publicized with a great video, like a nice video, really cool positions we had. And it was like on Wednesday, and I forgot about it all the weekend, and we got there on Sunday. And then the recruitment manager tells me, Natalie, we have a problem. I'm like, okay, what's your problem? He tells me, Natalie, we have 7,000 applicants. Like, what should we do? How would we read them? Okay. So we couldn't read all of them. We were scanning and looking and what's yes and what's not, but still, we're left with 3,000 applicants. So most applicants, we didn't get to them, even though everyone worked about it, all the crew. But what you should do is find someone that will put your CV on top. How would you do it? Either your friends that work at these organizations, like those guys, okay? LinkedIn shows you your path into the organization. Ask Mo or Nirit or Peli or whatever. Say, hi, I saw you're working at Applied Materials. How cool is that? I saw you have this position. Send them the link. I want to apply. Would you care sending my CV? Okay, or just send my CV to the HR. Most people will tell you, sure, no problem. Why would they do that? Anyone knows what's in it for them? Why would they help you beside being good people? Did you heard about a friend brings a friend compensation? Nat? Anyone? It's,
You mean like a finder's fee?
yeah. You call it the finder's fee? Yeah. They send your CV, even if you're not their BFF. And then they might have to earn 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 shekels. I don't know. Each organizations with their fee. But they get a few thousands, which is nice. So why won't they? You need to make sure that your CV is on top. This is what I want you to do. Now, when you're in a foreign country, your network is naturally weaker. You should find your network. You should grow your network. Really work on it. I think this is what differentiates your what would differentiate your job search. If you know people that know people, your job search would be easier. Don't be shy. Don't worry about hustling and stuff like that. Write to people. Hi, I saw you have this position. Send them the link. I want to apply. Would you care that I would apply throughout you? And they would happily help you. Okay? You give them a chance to earn, I don't know, 5,000 shekels. Why won't they? So make sure you do it. Make sure you're aiming for your goals. I think this is the most important part I can teach you on LinkedIn or anything or about job search. Just look for your people. Now, let's say your goal, your dream is to work for, I don't know, Facebook. Anyone here wants to work for Facebook? No, no one? Okay. If I look on the company page, I'm here on a company page, it also gives me that information. The 27 of my connections work here, Neil and other 26. I can see them, I can message them. It's super important. Don't just send your CV, please, please, please. Make sure that someone else hands them over. Or you can also write the recruiter. You can find the recruiter in the company you're looking to work at and write them. Nat, where do you want to work at? What's your dream position?
So I recently saw something at Monday.com and they look like a pretty like the kind of company that I feel like I'd want to work for.
Great. So you want to send a message to the HR, kind of? You're saying, hi, I want to work with you. Okay. Or you want to find the recruiters on Monday. I didn't explain what I'm doing, but I'll show you now. Sorry. So I got to the search engine. I just clicked into and pressed enter. I didn't write anything. I just pressed enter. After I do it, he asked me, "What are you looking, Natalie?" I said, "Show me all your filters." Now I'm in the advanced search. I'm looking for people in Israel that work for Monday.com. And then he asked me other questions which are not relevant at the moment, but then I tell them that the title is HR or recruiter.
Do recruiters get finder's fees in the same way or not
No,
really?
but this is their job. Most organizations don't give the recruiters the finder's fee because this is their position. But this is their SLA. They need to get to their goals. Okay, so they really want to finish with this position and carry on. So if you're good and you know to deliver what's so good about your experience that can answer their demands, then it's great. If you're off base, then it's a little bit problematic. Okay, if you have knowledge in disaster recovery and you want to be in HR, not great. Okay, it won't help you. But if you have the relevant experience, then that's good. I want to get the email from you. I'll tell you a story from this morning. I got a call from a bank, my clients. They told me about a position. 2 minutes after, I get a message on LinkedIn from someone saying, "Hi, I'm looking for a position in exactly the position they were looking for." I don't know how it happened. It's some kind of cosmic thing, but I got my candidate. It was one of my happiest moments. Really, I didn't have to work, and I got the match. So I write here HR or recruiter. I write the "or" in capital letter. I don't care if the title would be HR or recruiter or let's say sourcer. It's also one of the titles for recruiters, and I do apply. And here I have 11 results for HR working for Monday.com. I can, okay, you see there my second, most of them are my second degree. No is my first, and also Zohar. Basically, I can write Zohar and Noi a message, which is quick. But let's say I don't have a first connection. So whenever I look at the profile, okay, I can send her a connect request, and I can also add a note. It's one option. This note would not go to the messaging box, but would go to my network. And if she would find my network, she would see my message. And only after she would accept my invitation, she would see the full message. So it's okay, but it's not the greatest way. Okay? What else can I do? If I want to send her a message, since I'm not on a premium-based profile, then it would tell me, "Natalie, pay for LinkedIn." I was like, I would just want to send a small message. Okay, so what I need to do? Look here, I have almost 15, I have more than 1,500 mutual connections, but it's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that. I'm looking for the mutual groups. I'll take her name, Shir Yahav, and I'll seek for mutual groups. That's my goal. And I enter one of the groups. Since Shir and I are on the same group, then LinkedIn understands we have something in common, some issue that we can discuss. So whenever I look at all the members of the group, I see all. I can just paste her name. And here is Shiryav, and here is my private message that I can write her. Hi Shir, I saw you're an HR recruiter for Monday.com. Must say that this is my dream to work at Monday.com. I saw the position you posted. This is my resume. This is my experience. I'll be happy to keep in touch. Okay? If you're the right candidate, she would be happy to get this message. Any questions?
I have a quick one. If you like, you can find HR people on LinkedIn, but you could also find people who are doing the current job that you do.
Yeah.
Which would you say is better to approach, or would you do both? Because the chances are they maybe know each other, so you don't want to go with exactly the same message. So which would you say is better, considering that recruiters, it's their job to find you, but the people who work there, they know exactly what the job entails and can tell you more about it and can also pass your CV on?
Okay, well, it's a politics question, organizational politics. Well, if you send your message to the recruiter, basically they get a lot of messages, so they might not answer, but you should try. This is their job. They should answer and they should take care of you because this is their job. Okay, so that's to handle the HR. When you send it to the person who does your position, you never know on who is the person there. They might not want to get competition. Maybe they didn't know that the position was published. Okay, and they're about to be laid off. So it's a little bit tricky. I won't send it to my peer. Okay, I would send it. I would send a message to the manager of the position. Let's say you're a people. How did you name your position? People engagement.
Yeah.
Okay, people engagement. If there is a position of people engagement, that's great. I would look for the head of people engagement or the vice president or the director or something that would make me understand that this one is on a higher level. They're the one who are making the decisions. I want to get them. Why would I why would I want to approach my teammate? Maybe later I would look for my teammate and ask to I would ask, how is it to work on Monday.com? Is it nice? Is it not? But not at the early stages.
May I ask?
Yeah.
Hi again. I'd like to know more about the portfolio part. Where and what? I'm a journalist and also a photographer, and I would like to know like how to what is the best way to put your portfolio in your account? Like what website you use?
That's great. I think it's not that you're doing two different, not connected professions. Your professions are linked to each other. Journalist and photographer. You always need a photo for your journalism. So it's understandable in our minds what you do. It's like not like you're a veterinarian and also a writer or something. It's not connected. So yours is very much together. So look what I did. I took this little star and wrote 3 things that I do. Okay, so you can write a journalist, star, photographer, or whatever. Just try to make it more spicy. And also on your on your experience, right? Whatever journalism experience you had, whatever photo experience you had.
What would you advise if you are trying to kind of like jump to a new field and so you don't have the experience of the kind of job that you're going for? So maybe you have some transferable skills, but you know, like let's say you've got their recruitment, marketing, and sourcing. Okay, so let's say I have none of that. Maybe I've worked in education, but I want to get into recruitment. What would you know what I mean? What would you kind of advise, like putting as keywords when you don't quite have the experience that they're looking for?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
That's difficult. I've been through a career transformation. I used to work.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
Emma.
20129.
I'll put you on mute. So I did my own career transformation. I used to work on TV as a producer and an editor, and then I decided no more TV for me ever. And then I looked for a different position. I have to say it was a really difficult search. I was 32, single, didn't think it would take long, but it did take long. It took more than 9 months to find a position, and I didn't get the position that I looked for. I just settled down for a temporary position in recruitment, which was not my thing. It was also not not to be a recruiter. It was to be an administrative assistant, but in a recruitment company. I just wanted them to understand who I am and to find me a job. But then I got the opportunity to be a sourcer. Now, what I understood when I got there is that I think different from most people. I don't look at the things the same way. At the beginning, I said, do I fit here? And then I understood, yeah, I fit here and I would lead this industry. I have a lot of marketing skills and digital skills. And I talked about employee branding, employer branding, employee experience back in 2012. No one understood what I'm talking about. It took time. So what I want to tell you is that some of your skills are very valuable for your next career leap. Try to think whatever you got from this experience you had and would benefit the next one. Then, you can write, let's say on the headline, can you give me the example, like drill down?
Like for me personally,
Yeah.
so my background is in client service management and people management. It was with a market research consultancy, so I would be dealing with lots of data. But as I said, my background is in psychology, but I want to go into people engagement and retention and kind of mental health within the workplace, that kind of stuff. So I have some transferable things, but I've never done a job title. I had actually experience we had a social committee and I ended up running that. So it's kind of, there are certain things that are transferable, but I've never been in HR and in that kind of job.
But it's very similar, like the transformation is very near. So you said I did customer relations, or what was it? Customer
Yeah, customer services management, that like account management, that kind of thing. But so like normally I would write something in my title like account manager or something like that, but for HR specifically, like the account manager is not what they're looking for, if you see what I mean.
I know, but the skills are similar. Like, okay, I would tell you, Nat, it's probably that no headhunter would hunt you. But if you would send your CV, they would look at your LinkedIn profile and they would understand that you're not classic candidate, but you have a lot of skills that are really necessities in the HR industry. being an account manager with sales skills and service skills is a must. And you bring it further on, like more than the normal recruiter. So try to emphasize. Look at the. I'll go backwards. Look at the positions you're looking for, the people engagement, retention, and so on. Look at the positions you see, and look for the skills and the things that the requirements they ask for, and see if you can put the same sentences in the experiences you had. Okay, I would just go to jobs. You said people engagement. I don't know this position, not by a title, people engagement. Head of support. I don't see anything. No, let's say. Even I would write worldwide. Which one of these in a senior employee relations manager? Let's say, okay, not
Yeah,
that
they
you're
always
going.
put the word people. Yeah, they've started putting the word people in. I think just so anything with people, just I've learned is the new thing instead of calling it just
Yeah.
HR.
Yeah, it's a new trend.
I've even seen something advertised as I think a friend told me about someone they used to work with called like a happiness specialist or something like that.
Yeah. The chief happiness officer.
Honestly, something like that. Bring on
Yeah.
trend.
So I'll go on the responsibilities and also on the skills and qualifications, and I would look if I ever did develop a deep understanding of business and culture inside and out. Okay, I would look in every sentence and understand where can I implement this sentence in my CV, if it's been there, yeah. Not to lie, but I would see if I can put it in my experience, and I would implement it in my own CV. Okay. Any more questions? Well, girls, I think we are only girls. I hope you understand that the most permanent thing that we're going to experience in life is change. And in order to be able to handle change, we need to make ourselves three things, or make sure that we maintain three things. First is lifelong learning. We never stop learning. Never stop learning. Never stop learning. No matter what age you are, always try to learn more. Understand more occupations, understand more, learn more skills. It's a must today. Second thing, grow your network. Help people, and don't be shy to ask for assistance from other people as well. It's cool to look for a job. It's okay. It's normal. Don't be shy. Network. You know, every time I go on a lift, and someone enters the lift, I'm like an investigator. Hey, what do you do? Where you work at? What do you do? I know everyone at the building that I work at. You know, it's not only in my office, but all the offices, what they do, and I get to know a lot of people, and then they tell me good morning, and I kind of know everyone, and I'm like octopus. I have lots of how do you call it, arms. So I'm a networker. Be a networker. And the third part, take care of your brand. Your brand is there. Please take care of it. Okay. So I'll finish with my Here we are. These are my details. If you want to have an advice, ask a question, have a referral, just give me a call, text me, LinkedIn me, whatever you would like. Have a good evening.
I've already tried to add you on LinkedIn, but I think I'm so inexperienced with using it recently, so hopefully it worked. And I'm sorry I couldn't be on the rest of the session. I was actually like Masa had scheduled 2 sessions for this evening that I wanted to dial into, so I was partly on one to learn about working visas at the same time. So I wish I could have
There
put
you
more of it.
are.
No,
There you
there's
are.
me.
Natalie Weissman. I'll do accept. Emma, can you please ask me for a friend request?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Accept. Okay. Girls, it was a pleasure. Have a great evening.
Thank you for all your help.
You don't worry. I hope you would have a great success in finding a good job.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you
Really.
so much.
Thank you for advice. Goodbye.
Bye bye.